when we were last in this area, we were laying this pictorial meadow, which is a perennial meadow with no grass, just plants, that comes ready grown on a mat. And we were laying it in this area. And I was actually going to lay or sow a grass path leading up to the seat, my lovely eBay treen seat. But then I thought, why do that? Why not make a primrose and violet path? So in order to do this, I got some stepping stones, and I used alternate square and rectangular, which I've used as in a pattern all through this orchard. It's a very easy way to set the stepping stones. And I just positioned the slabs where I thought they should go on the soil. I then just scored round them with my spade, removed the slab, dug out the hole for the slab, levelled it a bit and pushed the slab back. And I did that, so I very quickly laid this path in maybe a couple of hours with a little help from the chickens. As soon as I dig anywhere here and the chickens are around, they are in it. They love the worms and everything that you find. Then I got some primroses, and these primroses just come from all over the garden. They seed freely around here. I think they're really beautiful. And I divided them up and then I popped them in situ. Now here's one clump that I've just dug up, and one way I divide them, if you can't pull them apart, I just get a sharp knife and I just dig down them like that. And that is a very easy way to divide many herbaceous plants. Look how nicely they come apart, and then I can go apart again if I want, and then again. So there we've got 4 nice bits of primrose, and I can just plant these in here to form extra, as I've done here, and then I watered them in. And then I got some violets. These are just violets again, which just seed all around the garden, Viola odorata. They've got these lovely purple little flowers in the springtime. They've got these lovely purple little flowers, and they don't really smell very strongly at all. And I've popped these in. And these, I think both of these are pretty vigorous plants. And so I imagine that most of this will be totally covered in about a year or two's time. But I also thought I'll put some bulbs in probably. And then I also thought I'd just add a bit of Amimajus. Now these are some seeds that I sowed back in February. And they're nice little plants now. So I'll just push out the odd little plug here. And these go quite tall. So I will just plant them. I'll just plant 2 or 3 probably in here. I don't need too many, otherwise they'll become a bit too big. And I'll just plant them in any little gap, water them in. Well, ideal time to plant things now, as long as you water them until they've got their roots down. So I'll just pop another one in here. Any sort of likely gaps. Soil is still quite moist. Pop another one out. Now I won't let grass grow in here. I don't want grass to overtake it. So I will weed any grass out that comes. But there was box growing here densely with not much else. So I don't think we'll get many weeds really at all. So I think it's just a really pretty little path that leads to the seat. Now this whole idea of using native or naturalised plants to pep up boundaries, paths or whatever is great, I think, in a garden. And I'm now going to take you up to a fence that I've just made where I'm going to do exactly the same. So this is my path that goes down to the meadow. And it is a track underneath here that's hardcore, so lorries come in and out when we need to get access to the livestock in the field. But I love it. We've got the big beech balls that we're making, just several, each of those beech balls is made from 2 or 3 plants, and then we just clip them into a round. And I managed to get some really inexpensive metal estate fencing on eBay. I had 1 or 2 panels spare. And then I got the rest for about 150 quid on eBay. So I thought I would just define this woodland edge. And I've mixed it with these oak posts. And we're going to pop finials on the top. So I've got 4 oak posts. And then this is the woodland edge. So I'm going to just plant a few things down. It's already got a bit of alkanet. It's got some jack by the hedge. It's got some wild onions. It's got a bit of Brunnera. It's got some native geum. So there's some cow parsley. I'm going to add the primroses. It's got some, what else has it got? I'll pop some honesty in. I'll just slowly pep it up by adding stuff in it. So this will be a sort of woodland edge, artificially created or pepped up. And then we have the grass, which I usually leave till the daisies come, and then I'll mow it down, because it is quite well used and we need to keep it mown, really. So this is one of the few bits that do become mown. And then I've also got other bulbs under the beech. So I'll pop these in, and I think this will just make a really nice entrance to the meadow, and it will frame the woodland edge. And being pepped up with other flowers, herbaceous things that are mainly perennial, some are annual, it just makes it much richer for wildlife, for insects. And the edge effect between the woodland and the mown grass, edge effects are always really rich, because you've got two different habitats bustling up together, and so you get all a manner of different insects, birds and things like that. So I think it's a really nice thing to do. Now, if you didn't have primroses in the garden that you can split and dig up, and they do seed very quickly and very freely, you could always sow them from seed. And I think it's quite good if the seed's quite fresh. And I wouldn't sow them too warm. They do germinate in quite cool conditions. But you can buy them, Primula vulgaris. So just sow some of your own into the little plugs and pop them out like that.